Okay, so now we will build up the Victoria sponge. I've got a cake card which I'm going to use as my final cake card. I also have got a cutter which is about 7-inch, big in size. So I'm just going to cut one layer. I'm going to cut one more. And if I go around, I might actually be able to get my third layer. Okay, what I need is just a cutter or palette knife. That's a little bit too big, but I can just squash this in. Okay, so practically I can get a 7-inch cake and I still got some bits on the side to use later. So I can build up this cake, but if I will do it this way, then I will use acetate strip to keep the cake till it gets set, and then when you slice, it's fine. I mean, it's a piece of cake, it's not rubbish, it's just a piece of cake. And yeah, it's pointless to chew it away. What I'm going to do here, I will actually just start building the cake using 2 layers. So the first thing which I'm going to do, I'll just set my scale to 0. I've got a piping bag and a piping nozzle in here, and I'm going to twist to make sure that the piping nozzle doesn't slide. I will cut the top, and then while I still got this twisted part of the bag inside, I will put some of the buttercream, trying to scoop with my palette knife and put that right at the bottom of the bag without overfilling the bag. Yeah. Just want to keep it comfortably in my hand, like a full hand of cream. And I can undo the twist and then just push down and make sure that the buttercream comes out from the bag. So I'm going to put a little bit in here just to make sure that my layer of cake will stick to the surface. Now, obviously it's a heavier piece of cake, so it's 235 grams. If I set this to 0, I can see how much syrup is going to take. I mean, syrup is just optional. You don't have to put syrup, but if you prefer kind of more moist cake, then you can definitely do it. And what I'm going to do is I will just spread some of my buttercream. So just going to put about 100 grams. Okay, and just literally spread that onto here. If you want to, you can put this buttercream into a piping bag and with maybe a number 12 nozzle, which is a plain nozzle. You can just pipe a dam and then just put that inside. But to be honest, this is just an artisan look style cake, so we shouldn't stress too much in getting things perfectly. Okay, and what I'm going to do now, I will start picking some of the raspberries. I'll go here and I'll put them on the edge. That will give kind of a nice frame. And they will also just give a nice taste to the cake. Inside you can put more fruits, or you can put some confit, which is a mix of fruits boiled with a bit of sugar and even with some pectin. But all I want here is just to have a bit of a acid taste to cut the sweetness, and just a bit of color, so to make the cake to look a little bit better. Okay, and I'm going to put now the second layer. I can put some syrup in here, or I can just place it on the top. Again, just putting a bit of moisture. And now I've got my piping bag, so I'm going to twist to get a nice pressure. And then just set this to 0. So I know I've used about 100 grams of buttercream. Now I will have to look, see how much cream I'm going to use in here. And all I'm going to do is I will just pipe some shells, just going around to pipe the shells. So just squeezing, keeping the bag onto 45 degrees. So not perpendicular, just offside. Squeezing and just stopping and pulling the bag away to try and create those little shells around the top. Okay, now if I want to make sure, so I've got 62 grams in here, I have to just keep doing it constantly so that the scale doesn't go off. But just to be on a safe side, if I take this away, let's say if I set it to 0 and I take it away, I've got 800 grams, and I know 60 grams have been on the first layer, just in case that scale goes off. Okay, and I will just carry on with the second layer of shells. Okay, just trying to twist my hand rather than moving the cake, but of course you can just move the cake. Okay, just have to undo the bag and just put a little bit more buttercream. So I already have about 120 grams on the top, which shows that you do end up using lots of buttercream when you start decorating. Something to bear in mind if you decide to sell your cake and just do a price calculation. Okay, and I got one in the center. Just do like a quick rosette, and that should be okay. And I've still got some of my raspberry left, so I've got 90 grams, and I had previously 60, so 150 grams of buttercream on the top, plus I know I've got 100 grams in the center. So if you do a similar cake for an order, then all you have to do is just to work out the quantities and prepare only as much as is required, so you don't end up with lots of excess cream, which you literally have to use just because you don't want to dispose. Okay, so just going to put now 3 more in the center. Okay, and you can also add other things if you've got any other bits to add, but if not, this will be just great. And the overall weight, it will be 950 grams, which will be great for 10 people. So that's the type of cake which we'll probably suggest to be prepared for as a dessert for 10 people.